Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Mariana's Coffee.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Sakurako Halstead. Dan Shore is on assignment. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The application window for individual disaster assistance is now open. Also tonight, water and power restoration will take time, but the goal is 90 days. And a reminder for rules of the road. Safety is a priority. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
The new Big Arch sauce is so delicious. You'll wonder if they named the sauce after the burger or the burger after the sauce. The Big Arch, the most McDonald's burger yet. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Distracted driving can cause car crashes. Here are some tips on how to stay safe while driving on the road. Be sure to pay close attention and share what you have learned with your family and friends. Do not text while driving. For your safety, it can wait. Do not let your passengers distract you. Do not adjust the radio or climate controls. No eating or drinking while driving. Stay alert, no daydreaming. No grooming or applying makeup while driving. Remember, you drive, you text, you pay. Drive safely, CNMI. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the CNMI Department of Public Safety.
Hafaday, Tirawame, and good evening, Commonwealth. You're watching the Channel 2 News on May 1st from our studio on Capitol Hill. The Major Disaster Declaration unlocked individual assistance through FEMA. Officials say don't wait to apply. The Federal Emergency Management Agency is now able to help the people of the Marianas with individual aid. On April 24, Governor David Apateng's request for a major disaster declaration was approved by President Donald Trump. FEMA External Affairs Officer Veronica Verde says there are three main ways to apply for the Individual Assistance Program.
There's several ways to get a hold of us and do the registration process. One is by calling our 1-800-621-3362 or 671-735-1050. Additionally, you can actually apply through our FEMA app or online at disasterassistance.gov. It'll take about 20 minutes to go through the application process. They will ask you for a good phone number, a current phone number, an address, your damaged dwelling, and then of course a description of those damages. It'll take about 20 minutes to go through the process. Once you do make that application, then you'll hear from FEMA within 7 to 10 days.
She explains some of the damages that could be covered by FEMA.
So if you are the homeowner, if you had any damages within the home, that's what we look at. Damages to your roof, if you had damages like to your window, the appliances, you can always give us a call. Additionally, if you were a renter, you would be eligible for personal property. So we really want to make sure that people apply now. And we don't want people to think that they're not worthy of getting, FEMA assistance. We want to make sure that it's open to everybody, that everybody's able to apply, through those various means.
Acting Public Information Officer for the CNMI Homeland Security and Emergency Management, Miguel Dandan, with some local tips.
If you have your house number, put it in conjunction with your P.O. box number. So again, that would be like 12345 Isa Drive, second line, your box number 1234 and then your branch, right? Like CK, CHRB, GRB, SVRB. So that can help alleviate any problems that if the system doesn't accept PO boxes. And also put your phone number too, so that when the inspector is ready, they will call you using on that number.
He shares more insight on troubleshooting the online process.
If you're having issues with login.gov, which is used to log into disasterassistance.gov, my tip is to use an authenticator app like Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator. That allows the system to verify if you're actually the person logging in by giving you that one-time passcode. It's a little more steps, but it's very easy, and Google can send messages to Saipan residents with either provider.
Verde says beware of fraud and when in doubt to call.
If anybody's having any issues making an application online, please give us a call. We have had some instances where we've heard of potential fraud. So if you do apply online, it's not letting you apply, please call our 800-621-3362 or 671-735-1050 and talk to somebody, and we'll get that straightened out for you.
Although a deadline is not announced yet, the public is encouraged to apply sooner rather than later.
The main thing is we want everybody to apply if they've incurred damages. Again, the president did declare a major disaster declaration on Friday. This allowed for the Commonwealth and Northern Mariana Islands, Saipan, Tinian, and Rota to be eligible to apply for FEMA assistance.
Along with disaster relief through FEMA, residents in Saipan, Tinian, Rota, and the Northern Islands are now able to apply for a low-interest loan through the U.S. Small Business Administration. Homeowners, renters, businesses, and private nonprofit organizations across the CNMI are eligible for federal disaster loans directly from the United States Small Business Administration. Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience Public Affairs Specialist Renata Mason says this offer is a result of the Presidential Major Disaster Declaration.
For homeowners and renters, repair and replacement of personal property, homeowners, repair and replacement of the real estate, and for businesses and nonprofits, if you are owner of a building, some type of real estate, you can use the funding for physical repairs and economic injury as well. So coverage for renters up to $100,000. For homeowners, we can do up to $500,000 for repairs of real estate, but also an additional $100,000 for personal property. For businesses and nonprofits, they can seek up to $2 million. There's $2 million that can go towards the physical damages, or $2 million for economic injury. If you're seeking both, it's a combined $2 million, just to make that clear. So it wouldn't be $4 million total.
In addition to the loans for repairs and replacement, anyone who has any real estate damage can seek what's called mitigation funding.
That's an additional 20% on top of the verified physical loss that can be used when you're rebuilding, thinking of like retention walls, those window covers, even stronger windows to be exact. Can be used for that. It does not have to be for this particular type of storm that has impacted the island. It can be used for any type of mitigation that you see fit for your real estate when rebuilding.
Interest rates for homeowners and renters are as low as 2.875%. For businesses, they are as low as 4%. And for nonprofit organizations, they are as low as 3.625%, with up to 30 years across the board for anyone applying for loan assistance. Terms will be made based on the borrower's ability to repay.
Our loans are set up in a way that we make them affordable for those that are seeking the funding, because again, these are loans on an as-needed basis and not something that anyone really wants.
Mason highlights that loan payments are deferred for a year.
So there's a 12-month deferral once approved. An individual does not have to make a payment until for a year once they receive their first disbursement. So during that time, there's no interest accrual. They'll just have that 1 year before they have to start making payments, so they can begin their recovery process without that added stress.
To apply for a loan, visit www.sba.gov/disaster. Application deadlines for a physical damage loan is June 22nd of this year and January 25th of next year for an economic injury loan. For any questions, including individuals with prior loans, SBA customer service can be reached at 1-800-659-2955 or through email at sba.gov. The Joint Information Center will release details in the coming days about a command center opening up to assist residents in person. A utility company battles the different challenges to restore power and water for the people after the storm. The Commonwealth Utilities Corporation says Rota is up 100% with power and water. Now they work on Tinian and Saipan. Tinian is said to be half and half, with 100% water restored and 100% without power. Saipan has over 130 water wells down and nearly 100% without power. Power restoration on Saipan begins with the hospital.
Currently, we have our power plant 4 energizing our Puerto Rico area, but it's specifically reserved for the hospital right now, CHCC. CHCC, we just got news that their backup generators were installed from FEMA. So we're now trying to add load into our power plant 4. So that includes the Crown Plaza Hotel, Hyatt Hotel. We're trying to connect our Saduktasi wastewater treatment plant. That's in coordination right now. And any laterals that have been secured in feeder 1, within feeder 1. And that's Puerto Rico and a little bit of Garapan area.
In Wednesday's meeting, water restoration updates for the island included some villages in Saipan receiving water for the first time since the storm.
Today we had a first for CK and Sasupi. We were able to give them water for the majority of the day, probably 5 to 6 hours. So we released water out of Isley. We had crews down there looking for leaks. There was a lot of them.
Water leaks, wet control rooms, salt spray, and damaged weatherheads are only a few of the factors that CUC faces. Although a time frame for power to come up is not given, a goal of 90 days is set out.
You know, we were hopeful that it won't be that long. Maybe, 1 or 2 months. 90 days is what our goal is, to try to get it within 90 days, which would be 3 months. And whether we do that, we can't sit here and make that promise, as we continually run into issues.
CUC officials say a team of 49 are coming in from the Guam Power Authority along with 8 bucket trucks to help restore power. The public is advised and urged to not cut any wires.
Don't cut lines, because we can't quantify exactly how much we need. So if your service drop is gone, so much service drops are gone, and we start our restorations to residentials, if it's not there, we might be short on supplies.
The CNMI Department of Public Safety reminds the people about road safety regarding our circumstances after the storm. With traffic lights out of service after Super Typhoon Sinlaku, DPS Commissioner Anthony Macaranas clears up the confusion on the rules of the roadway.
The intersection is treated as a four-way stop. You know, people just have to treat it as a four-way stop in absence of the light. So whoever's at the intersection first has the right of way. So whoever comes to the intersection has the right of way first. That means the opposite and the two opposite direction of the vehicle has to stop and allow that vehicle to come in. But always be mindful too that every vehicle that's traveling on the main travel lane has the right of way. You know, in lieu of the person that's in the section has to respect that right of way. But what I'm telling the people that you don't need, once you get that clear to exit that intersection safely, and assure that there's no pedestrian, no other vehicles that are traveling your way that would endanger your safety as you're driven out of the intersection. The people have, again, like I said, the people are so dependent on a traffic light. That's why, you know.
Stop signs have been placed at some intersections as a reminder. Macarana says regardless of the circumstance, the laws are still in place.
The laws are not they're not waived right now because of our current situation. It's still in place. So people don't speed. If you don't need to speed, please don't speed, especially at night, where it's very pitch dark out there. Buckle up, wear your seatbelt. Even your children has to be in a car seat. I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of vehicles where people are transporting kids and they're standing in the vehicle. Parents, you have to secure your kids, because whenever you stop your vehicle or that you hit something, whatever speed that you're traveling, that person that is not secured will travel the same speed as you before you hit an object.
Additionally, the public is asked to be mindful in the presence of an emergency vehicle that is responding. Motorists are directed to pull over to the right on both sides of traffic to give way and prevent any delays for the response to an emergency. Stay tuned for more news after the break.
The new Big Arch sauce is so delicious. You'll wonder if they named the sauce after the burger or the burger after the sauce. The Big Arch, the most McDonald's burger yet. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome to Marianas Beach Resort, and now welcome to Marianas Coffee. Indulge in the rich, smooth taste of classic coffee, or treat yourself to one of our signature creations with the best coffee roasted right here in Saipan. Craving something fun? Try our cracking marshmallow milkshake, or one of our refreshing milk teas. Stay cool with locally grown lemongrass lemonade, the perfect tropical twist. Pair your drink with our delicious cakes, dessert, sandwiches, and salads freshly made just for you. And with super fast Wi-Fi, it's the perfect place to work or unwind. Marianas Coffee at Marianas Beach Resort, where great coffee meets great style.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Bring your friends in for the best night out at Godfather's Bar in Garabin. Sing along to your favorite hits with live music from the Gigolos. Godfather's has daily food and drink specials like Taco Tuesdays. The best pizza on island every day of the week. Located on Palm Street in Garabin.
I love Marianas Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
Welcome back. You're watching the Friday night edition of the Channel 2 News. McDonald's of Saipan has made a significant donation to support recovery efforts following Typhoon Sinlaku. Our Chris Nelson has more.
The Azuzu family, which operates McDonald's locations on both Guam and Saipan, is stepping in to help the community rebuild. Joe Azuzu Jr.
We made a donation in a total of $25,000. $10,000 was to the Red Cross, $10,000 was to the Salvation Army, and $5,000 was to the church, the Diocese of Chalancanoa. And you know, we see these groups out there. They're helping the community. They're serving food to people that are in need, and you know, they're housing them in the shelters. So you know, they're really stepping up to the plate. Of course, they need funding to do what they need to do, and so we're just so happy to support them and contribute.
Azuzu says a number of McDonald's employees are facing difficult challenges at home. He adds the company is supporting them by providing stable employment, a place to charge devices, and a hot meal.
Just the same with our employees, as everybody else, is majority of people have lost power and water. One of the things that we've done on our side is we've seen that some of our employees have a hard time washing, you know, their clothes, even just hygiene, taking a shower. So just on our own side is we've set that up, for our employees. So taking a look at what they're going through and just empathizing with them. And I gotta say, Chris, one of the other things that we're happy to provide is even during this kind of crisis and with businesses shutting down, is we offer that stable, secure employment for them to continue, making money and making funds as a means to support their families. So, all around it's difficult. I have to say it's hard for everybody, but we do our best. We try and do our best.
The local hospital is getting some help from a humanitarian organization that wears many hats. Let's take a look. Samaritan's Purse set up a field hospital outside the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation in Saipan. Sasha Thu says their organization is helping in the aftermath of Super Typhoon Sinlaku.
Samaritan's Purse is a Christian evangelical organization, a humanitarian relief organization. We're here with a multi-sectoral response, so we have a medical response, a NFI response, shelter, tarp, water. So I'm here with the medical team here in Saipan.
She says Samaritan's Purse is doing outreach into the community to provide medical care and have set up an outpatient clinic supporting the CHCC system.
We are here in collaboration with the CHCC system, working with their emergency room team here to really triage all outpatient services and offload their emergency room triage system. So offering, in our first tent we have a triage where patients are registered, their blood pressure is checked, their history is taken, and then another tent where they can have their physician consultation. There will be opportunity to see a physician and a nurse, and then we also have a on-site pharmacy for their prescription refills, as well as medical supplies here.
The medical director says that their services are available from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and the primary healthcare outpatient services they offer are free of charge.
It's been a really gratifying experience. It is hot out here each day, but our medical staff are just overjoyed to care for the patients in front of them and just support this community.
Since before landfall of Super Typhoon Sinlaku, sports has been on hold. As the island picks back up, we revisit a story from last year where a loving father, with the help of his team, holds his daughter up to the world.
Former Saipan residents Steve and Larissa Coleman are the proud parents behind Team Audrey, a growing movement centered around their daughter Audrey, who has cerebral palsy. Audrey was born on January 24, 2013. Her parents first met on the island of Tinian, and now they're making waves in the Philippines where they live and train as a family.
Audrey is a really happy kid. She generally loves the wind, music, just loves movement and activity. She's just a really happy kid.
Audrey doesn't speak, so her family relies on hands-on communication to understand her needs. But there's no mistaking her joy, and recently the Colemans turned that joy into history at the NTT Asia Triathlon Cup in Subic Bay. Team Audrey became the first to ever compete in the race with a child with disabilities in tow anywhere in Asia.
What did it feel like for you to cross that finish line together?
Oh, it felt wonderful. That was the end of a very long journey, and it was pretty special having Audrey with me in that event. Actually, we made history. It was the first time that anybody's ever done that in Asia. I didn't realize that at the time. I thought it was just a first for the Philippines, but this is the World Triathlon Organization, and they pulled me aside after the event, said it was the first time anybody's ever done it on this side of the world.
Steve pulled Audrey and her teacher Maxine through the ocean swim in a raft. Then he cycled with her in a trailer and finished the run pushing the same rig modified for foot travel. Larissa handled logistics, overcoming hurdles with equipment, training, qualification, and the searing heat. They even formed specialized teams: hydration, water safety, spiritual support, and transitions.
Team Audrey became this sort of concept and an idea that has taken on a life of its own. And initially, Audrey and I did this to honor God and my wife, Larissa, and also Audrey, right? I wanted to hold her up to the world and show her what a cool and special kid she is. And also a big part of it is to increase awareness and acceptance and inclusivity of PWD people in the Philippines, and PWD stands for Persons with Disability, and there is a lot of work to be done in terms of people understanding, accepting, and embracing people from different walks of life, especially amongst the children.
Audrey's strength inspired everyone around her, even as temperatures soared.
How did Audrey inspire you throughout the journey and the preparation? It's not like you can just show up and do this. You got to prepare to do it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up, because, that's why it's called Team Audrey. As my wife, Larissa, was a huge part of it. She helped solve for the equipment challenges early on, sourced, bought, and had our bike trailer, running stroller, brought to the Philippines. My brother brought it, thanks Drew. And she solved for a lot of stuff and led the transition team, getting out of the water, transitioning to the bike, transitioning to the run and all of that. We had a hydration team, spiritual leadership team, water safety team. A whole bunch of people contributed to this. And this kid right here, she was the big hero. And without her toughing it out, because it was hot. I mean, the first year we finished and the heat index was almost 56, which is like 120 degrees. It was crushing heat, but she handled it. And if at any point in time she got sick, was uncomfortable, complaining, we would have stopped. But she stuck it out.
And so did you. Were there any moments you considered stopping?
No.
Now the Colemans are encouraging other families with special needs to take their own leap of faith.
What would you say to other parents considering similar challenges with their children?
Just to hold your children up to the world. And I think that when you're the parent of a child with special needs, there is a lot of anxiety that goes along with it, a lot of frustration, to be honest, a lot of guilt, a lot of second guessing, and all those things are wrapped up in sort of a ball of difficult emotions to deal with. But what I try to tell people and other parents that want to participate in this event and other things is those are all good and healthy human emotions. You have to experience that. You have to go through that and you have to deal with it. But, don't let that cascade down to the child, because it's not their fault.
Team Audrey isn't slowing down. A long run is planned for this summer, followed by an ocean swim this winter, and they've already marked next year's race, May 6th, 2026, back in Subic Bay.
To everybody in the Marianas, and we miss it, and we hope to come back and visit very soon.
Team Audrey is living proof that the finish line is just the beginning. Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News.
Team Audrey is ready for the 2026 triathlon happening this weekend. Good luck, Team Audrey. Tonight's weather is mostly cloudy with isolated showers, lows around 77. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy with isolated showers, highs around 86. Sunday, partly cloudy and breezy, lows around 78. That was your Friday night newscast. Have a wonderful weekend, CNMI, and thank you for tuning in.